left, nothing safe, not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, pizza party. Gonna have a good time. Pizza party, pizza party. Have a sip of red wine. Yeah! Back in the mozzarella mausoleum for the one, the only Joey Royale's pizza party. Holy cow, have I missed you all. I took a little vacation in August. There was no show, and I was lost without the company of my friends. How you been? Let me take a look at you. You got your back to school haircut. Very nice. Okay, you've been taking care of yourself. You look great. You know who looks especially great tonight? We got two special birthday friends, Jess McDevitt and Joan Destroyer. Two very good friends. I want to wish both of those friends a very cheesy happy birthday from the bottom of all of our hearts. I hope you're both hanging in there, doing well. Great. Boy, do we have a show tonight, folks. Before I get into that, why are we here? Always the greatest role-playing game in the world, Dungeon Crawl Classics. Thank you, Mr. Joseph Goodman. Holy cow. I think I'm still recovering from Gen Con. Man, did we hit the pavement there. We were throwing books around. We were selling them like they were hotcakes. It was great to see those that were there in person. For those that were not able to make it, don't worry. You know, I was reading one of those Austin Kleon books, and he was talking about FOMO, you know, the fear of missing out. But then he touched upon something that I really like that I want to share with my friends who couldn't make it to these cons. And it just kind of to see all the stuff on the Instagram. Austin Kleon talked about JOMO. Now, that's not only a nickname they used to call me in middle school. I'll get you one day, you bullies. But it's the joy of missing out. You know, there's something very special about that. We get caught up with the fear of missing out, like especially with all the social media and the Instagrams and all that. Oh, look at this beautiful picture. I'm over here in a pool eating a pineapple. Nah, but there's the joy of missing out. I'm doing myself a favor, and I think you should too, because I care about you. I'm not going to preach to you, but it's okay to say no. Boy, is that a freeing experience sometimes. You know, it's really tough to keep up with everybody. I love the internet, and I love interacting with all my friends. But at the same time, too, if you got other stuff going on, it can really burn you out, and it can really spoil your battery. So do yourself a favor and be nice about it. If somebody needs help, help them. But sometimes you just can't go out to dinner that night. Or sometimes you just can't go to the game if your family needs you. So take some joy in putting your own oxygen mask on so you can help others put the oxygen mask on, and say no sometimes. It's okay. So anyways, let's jump into the meat. Oh, man, we got everything tonight. My man's back. The Neon Lord is back in the house. He's upstairs chatting with Nana, finishing up the baked ziti. All right. I got luscious Levi Combs, and I got Levi Nunez with the body. All right. And I got Elena Thompson on the ones and twos, scratching it up. Here we go. We're going to have a blast. Okay. Oh, and I got a very special thing. I got to rush through some of my stuff because I got to get to something very important. Something big is upon us, friends. All right. The Scott Turns Memorial Auction. My good friend, one of my best friends, Scott Cthulhu, passed away a couple of months ago. And it was a beautiful friendship. We met via the pizza party. He started to write letters back and forth with each other. He's the guy that came up with the Joey Royale's Pizza Party t-shirt. But beyond all that, he was always somebody I could talk to. We shared a lot of interests. I got this Cramps postcard right there, always in memory of my good pal, Scotty baby. I love you. And I love your sister, Kerry. So when we were out in Indianapolis for Gen Con, the Neon Lord and I got invited over to Kerry's house. And she said, please, I don't know what to do with this stuff. Can you do something with it? And I said, absolutely. So we loaded up a car. I don't know how we made it home in one piece, but we have a beautiful collection of Goodman Games products, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Shutter Mountains, Tournament of Pigs, all sorts of stuff that I'm going to share with you I'm going to share with you this show. I'm going to share with you the next show. I'm going to tell you how to sign up to be part of the auction. We're going to do a charity auction for the Indianapolis Animal Care Center. So we're going to be auctioning off all this stuff on an episode of Joey Royale's Pizza Party, perhaps two. And there's going to be some beautiful stuff out there, and you're going to be helping some great animals. Okay? So thank you, Kerry. Scott, we will always love you, and you'll always have a seat at our table. Thanks for all the friendship that you shared, and you will continue to share. So let's jump into the Crypto Cool. Here's the first thing I picked up recently. Look at this. I just got Black Manta from the McFarlane Superpowers collection. Now, let me tell you something. As a kid, I didn't get a lot of the actual comic books. I couldn't keep up with it. I didn't have the dough. But what we always got, if I did good on a spelling test, so I got an action figure on Fridays, right? So I loved Superpowers. I was the perfect age for Superpowers figures and Secret Wars figures, and I loved the cartoon. But the thing is, they never had any of the Legion of Doom. They only had a couple of guys. This was the guy I always wanted to play in the bathtub with, and they never came out with them only until recently, okay? But this brings me back. Isn't that why we do so much that we do? All you kids that are my age, like watching cartoons and you couldn't find the toy or you couldn't find that thing or that part of the comic book you wanted to go the other way. So now we make this stuff ourselves, like my bolo tie, right? But this guy is important to me because he made me be creative when I was a kid and color my own figures with a marker and pretend they were, but put some tinfoil on the head, and I had a Black Manta for the tub. But now it came back out, and he's joining the Hall of Fame up there, so that's cool. Oh, my own boy, do I got some great friends. Your friend and mine, Great Babe. This just landed yesterday. I could not love a human more than I love Great Babe. Rules is written, him and Stefan, beautiful people. Look at this, all right? It came in a lot. First, it's the season. I can smell the candy corn in the air. I didn't have this one. Dracula's Greatest Hits. Woo! This is going to be a good one with such classics as I Want to Bite Your Hand, Little Black Bag, King Kong Stomp, the new Frankenstein and Johnny song. Oh, that was a big one. Remember that? Yeah, me and your grandmother used to dance to it. And, of course, Drac the Knife. So you're going to hear these on the Crypt of Cool, WCNIradio.org. That's my radio show. These are going to start in October. And with that came, you know I love this. This is a huge part of who I am. Famous Monsters of Filmland. Not only is it a sick cover of my guy, all right, you know, Levi's the Wolfman, I'm the Drac, but this one is issue number 43. So I think this is probably my earliest one that I got, and nothing beats the ads. Look at that, 98 cents. You get the Aurora guillotine, the Mole People 8mm. You go through here, Captain Company. I'll tell you what, I could probably name every monster movie there ever was, and I barely seen any of the movies. I got it all from this right here. So thank you, Mr. Forrest J. Ackerman, for answering that phone when I called you when I was in 7th grade. Thanks for always not being too big to answer the phone call of a 13-year-old nerd with really messed up teeth. So thank you very much, all right? Oh, we're rolling. Oh, here's another beautiful thing I got. Ooh. Shane Madgett is the guy I talked to online. He's up there in Alberta, and this is really cool. He sent me, this is copy 4 of 10. He made a zine of all of his Gong Farmers local, this is local 221, a yearbook of all of the posters that he made to advertise his public games. Full color, absolutely beautiful, inspiring posters. Look at that. Isn't that a cool idea, friends? Really memorializing all those experiences he had throughout the year playing those road crew games, and a beautiful note and a really cool picture there as well. So thank you very much. Hey, check out the Goodman Game Store today. Our friend Stefan Surratt just released Visitors to Fairhaven for all you WHPA fans. All right, I love this. I was blown away by what he did here. He really captured the feel, the look. Look at that. Look at that dagger. All sorts of cool stuff in here. I won't spill the beans too much, but you can get that now in the Goodman Game Shop. There's a lot of new stuff in the Goodman Game Shop. A lot of stuff, man. They got that momentum. This community's got the momentum going. I posted in the DCC Rocks thing. I said, hey, everybody, what are you up to? I never got so many responses online in my life. Everybody is working on something. And if they're not making something, they're running something and bringing people to the table. Jeez, this is wonderful. I love every single one of you. Yo, you know what I love too? I just been getting into this book. Men of Tomorrow. Geeks, Gangsters, and the Birth of the Comic Book. Folks, this is where it all started, all right? From the children of immigrants barely scraping by in the Big Apple to people that created things that I don't even know if many people can understand the context of where superheroes came from. There was a time where there wasn't comic books, where Superman wasn't even a thing. You know, we take all this for granted. For crying out loud, I take it for granted that I can press a button from the Mozzarella Mausoleum and come out with a zine. These guys scraped, they worked, they fought, literal blood, sweat, and tears from nothing to the top of the food chain. And then there's all the infighting and all the legal stuff in between. So if you want to know a little bit behind the scenes, I just started this. It's so well written. It's got a perfect mix of like scholarly diction to a real good kind of dry humor. And it really captures 1920s in New York City and the birth of the publishing trade for comics. So very cool. Oh, Madon, on the comics too. I'm a late bloomer with these things, but I'll tell you what. I just read one of the greatest comic books I've ever read, Silver Surfer Requiem. All right? If you're into the stuff that I'm into here, I can't recommend this enough. Silver Surfer Requiem. What a beautiful existential thing to get a comic book. Unbelievable. That's all I'll say about that. Hey, speaking about WHPA, third-party zines, check this one out. Kyle Jameson, Vampire Cinema Productions. Holler at you, boy. Electric Brain, another beautiful thing that he did with his son. Some beautiful art in there. Great stuff, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. I go back to it every week. I try to chip away at another year. Monsters, Aliens, and Holes in the Ground, a guide to tabletop role-playing games from D&D to Mothership. All right? Beautiful, by Stu Horvath, part of the Vintage RPG with our good friend Hambone. Almost every single role-playing game ever made. He'll tell you about it. He'll give you a little taste. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic book indeed. How are all my friends doing in the chat? Everybody doing okay? Very, very good. Hi, Bradley McDevitt. Oh, just I got to toot my own horn for a minute. If you haven't heard, geez, I've been blasting everybody. October 3rd, I am my backer kit starts for Weird Heroes of Public Access, the hardcover. It's got the core rules. It's got like my best of from the other zines, Tales from Fairhaven 1 and 2, Station Manager's Guide, Jude Manifestations, and like at least 20 pages of new stuff. Stretch goal is going to be sick. It's going to be a zine featuring the likes of the Neon Lord himself, Tim DeShane, Hambone McGuire, Dr. Metal, Levi Combs, great stuff, and probably more. I get nervous. I don't want it to come, boxes and boxes full of junk. So I ordered one. I'll show you a little sneak peek, all right? I ordered one just so I could do some editing on it. How cool does that look? All right? How cool is that? Thanks to the Neon Lord for helping me out with the graphic design on that. And this is a beautiful painting. Man, I absolutely adore this. Hayden Hall has a movie. He did the oil painting for this. He has a movie out right now called Pizza Party Massacre. It just, this stuff writes itself. All right, so that's enough. I got to keep going. What do we got? Wisdom check. We got Epictetus this month. All right, this is a quick one. Sometimes that's all you need. Just a quick one. It tells you enough of what? Learn to heal yourself. You ready? All right, take a breath. Get the brain going. You're thinking as a creative now. Your relentless pursuit of wisdom postpones your actually possessing it. Quit chasing after tonics and new teachers. The latest fashionable sage or book or diet or belief doesn't move you in the direction of a flourishing life. You do. Renounce externals once and for all. Practice self-sufficiency. Don't remain a dependent, malleable patient. Become your own soul's doctor. How about that? Now, listen, I'm not going to give away all my books and become a monk and all that, but it makes you think. A lot of times I get addicted to buying books like they're pills. Like I'm going to just buy a book and then all of a sudden I'm going to have the same comedic timing as Rodney Dangerfield or something like that. Now, you got to live life too, and you got to reflect. You can't just have your head in books all the time. And like it always happens, that piece, I picked that out a couple weeks ago. I pulled the tarot card today from the Garbage Pail Kid Tarot Guidebook. And this is what I found. This is our tarot card of the month for us to reflect on. We got the Lovers. Looks like we got Adam Bomb and Ada Boom in love. All right, isn't that beautiful? Those two knuckleheads with their heads exploding. And this is what it says. We pulled the Lovers. The Lovers represent a stable, balanced, happy union, like the strange, explosive bond between Ada and Adam Bomb. This card can symbolize perfect partnerships, friendships, and pairs of all sorts. In a tarot reading, it's a positive sign that a union will be mutually beneficial. Nobody can live by themselves. Reach out to your friends, check on them, make sure they're doing okay, collaborate on a project. But also this card means to me as well is to take care of yourself and make sure you're in union with yourself. Don't subscribe to things that you don't believe in just because you're fearful or you're guilty. Break free of those chains and be you and love yourself. Okay? Very good. That's the wisdom checks. That's all that. I'll do some nice giveaways on the next couple of shows, but I got to get into the meat tonight because I want to talk to Nunez. I want to talk to the Neon Lord. Unfortunately, it looks like luscious Levi Combs somehow fell off face of the earth, but hopefully he might come back on. In the meantime, Elena, could you please welcome my brother from another mother, the Neon Lord, in?
Oh,
hey.
hey.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. In
All
the
right, folks.
house, yeah. Uh-huh.
Listen, Gen Con, me and him
Yeah.
on a pull-out couch. All right?
Together.
Very small pull-out couch. I
It
got the air
was.
conditioning blasted in my face and a lung infection. And every single morning, 6 o'clock, the sun's not even up yet. All right? Oh, yeah. It's like I had a one-night stand with Randy Macho Man Savage, and every morning that was my alarm clock. But listen, buddy, I couldn't change it for the world. Those 11 hours in the car with you and Garrett were nothing I'll ever forget. How you doing?
Technically 22 because we came there and back. So
we came, we saw, we conquered, and stopped at Sheets
sleep
a million times.
You did sleep the way back, but that's besides the point. But
yeah. I did sleep. Listen, I was sick. I was done. No COVID, but I know I kept you guys up with my coughing, but I was done. I was worn out. But you got that juice in you. You drink that Monster. Listen, congratulations. I'm surprised you're not lighting a cigar with the $100 bill right now. This guy cannot stop, ladies and gentlemen. Elena will put it in the chat, but Brian is in the middle of a very awesome backer kit right now. Why don't you tell the crew about it, buddy?
Yeah, we got 22 days left for DDs and Demi Bros and Deadly Dudes and Toxic Creeps. So 2 separate books. One is the Pantheon of Wrestling Gods and all their cool stuff that they're going to bring to Neon Lords. And the other one's just an expanded monster manual to bring 100 some plus more crazy monsters to fight into the game.
Unbelievable. You just don't stop. I don't know. It's wonderful. Now tell them about Jimmy P. James Ponzanell, one of my favorite people in the entire world.
So then we're also doing a collab backer kit campaign together to where if you back my campaign and Ponzanell's together, you get an adventure that we're writing together called Token Collect, where it's a bunch of little arcade games that you can go into and like gain tokens that you could spend on stuff inside Netcrawl or Neon Lords.
Beautiful. Yeah, congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you.
You guys are both knocking it out of the park. And James, if you're out there, thank you so much for being such an awesome friend to the world. I wanted to spend every single second with him and Wayne Snyder. They're just such kind folks. Everybody at the booth and in the company is wonderful. But we spend a lot of time with those guys. And
Lou as well.
Lou, God bless that guy.
Shout out to the Lou.
I think I did 8 consecutive hours running X-Crawl. Brendan LaSalle, Chef's kiss, you really got something there, man. I was not bored for 1 second. I played the same room. I ran the same room over and over again for 8 hours. I never got bored. It was absolutely amazing. So check that out. X Crawl's coming in hot. Got a lot of stuff happening, man. It's going to be awesome. What have you been up to other than that?
That's it. That's all.
Good.
Well, like between the backer kit, and then the Patreon, we'll bring in Hunter Jackson, Techno Destructo on to the project as well. So
Tell
Friday
them
night.
who, like, not everybody knows who Hunter is.
Oh,
So explain
so
that to big people. This is
yeah,
big. He hit the
he's
big
the
time.
he's the one of the founding members of GWAR. He designed the costumes and he directed the first couple of movies. And the original idea was his to for the Scumdogs of the Universe was a movie he was creating. And then Dave Brockie had a band. I know, long story short, had a band called Death Piggy. They borrowed the costumes, made GWAR, and then history was made.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm really proud of you. I know this has been a lifelong dream. You've really pushed yourself to the limit and devoted yourself to it. Geez, you got your own office you're renting now too. I'm envious. That's wonderful.
working on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting there. But yeah, so it's been like just nonstop, just this and Patreon, and then other stuff. The Roller Brawl coming out, like a whole nother game and everything. So it's been
Can't stop, won't stop. And yes, Father Goose, it was great to see you too. And everybody was so busy that I got to see everybody for like literally 15 minutes.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
got to sit down with Marzio and I got to get to know Jim Scatch. I won't spill any beans, but Brian and I were privy to a very special, very awesome project that I think is going to be huge for him. So, James, Mr. Scatch, whatever you need, man, we got you back. So,
Yep.
wonderful. Very good. Hey, we got a big guest here tonight. All right. Should we bring him in?
Yeah, it's almost as like we've talked to him before on another show.
Yeah, I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, he's no stranger to the family, a person that I really respect, a creative on all levels, from music to writing to art. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, our friend, Levi Nunez, Luther Body. Levi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Is there a
Yes.
tilde?
Yep, Nunez. You got it,
Okay,
Nunez.
great. I got the tilde.
Yeah.
Oh, I sent it. I sent a newsletter home to all the families at my school, and I put it through a translating app, and I told everybody to have a great year in Spanish, but I forgot the tilde on año,
Oh,
and
so
I
you
told
told them to
everybody.
have a lovely, have a good a-hole, everybody.
Yeah, I got a couple of emails about that, but I digress. How are you? Look at you. You look great. Sun shining where you are, and you have
It is.
absolutely friggin' blown my mind. Like, this is like, Joey, do you have a wish for a funnel? What shall it be? And you wrote it. I love it. Tell the world about your project that I am going to explode over.
Against the cult of the hippie commune. It is,
Against the cult of the hippie commune. Beautiful.
yeah, it's set in the 60s, and it's a small town in the US where all of a sudden a commune is set up on some estate on the outside of town, and then the kids from the high school, one by one, start joining it. And
Yeah.
law enforcement doesn't care. They're not doing anything, so it's up to the barber, the librarian, the PTA mom, to go up there and get their kids. And of course, more is going on than meets the eye. I made it so that with no spoilers, but it will, like any other funnel, create a character that then you can take on to any DCC adventure. So there's the appearance of, the 60s vibe, definitely tapping into a lot of the hippie exploitation,
Yes.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, Wild in the Streets, The Trip, Psych Out, but also the music that I love from that era, Moby Grape, Strawberry
Yep.
Alarm Clock, Jefferson Airplane, especially because to me, like Jefferson Airplane were this great combination of, hey, isn't everybody great? Don't we love each other? Let's have a violent revolution and overthrow like all of a sudden it got really, what? Hold
Yeah.
on, I thought it was just about flowers. So I'm definitely sort of, I think it only occurred to me the other day, like this might be, Skate Wizards is, the protagonist. This is almost the flip side. What
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
the bad guy is actually now you have the good guy is just the square, right? The square of the town. your average person in an average town trying to figure out what the 60s mean to them, I guess. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. And I don't even know if the adventure is an excuse for the music or the music's an excuse for the adventure, but there's a party going on. It all takes place during the party of a lunar eclipse, and there's a
Yep.
band playing. And so as soon as sort of the adventure begins, the music starts, right? Because it's a house party. And so about a year ago, I had a dream about a fake band called Striped Tiger. I just dreamed that
Okay.
name and I dreamed the spelling of it, Stryptygur. Now, you could argue that Loot the Body is already a fake band. So is this a hat on a hat situation? It might be. It might be
Hmm.
that I've gone a little too far with it. I don't know. But the idea of writing songs that this this band would be playing then, late 60s, this band sort of gets sucked up into this whole cult, and now they're the band there. So what songs would they be playing? And what and also I had a lot of fun and getting a little nerdy with it, thinking, okay, there's five people in this band. Two guitar players, one bass player, one drummer. These three sing. This guy sings the highest. This guy sings. So I really had to limit myself with it, with this, you know. And because usually I do everything, but I didn't want to be the only voice there, so I drafted Jules, my 20-year-old son, to
Yeah.
be one of the vocalists for the band too. So really, and I sent it to I have this guy, Linus Dotson, who's made a lot of music under Linus of Hollywood. He's worked with a lot of people that I admire. He mixed it for me, and I said, "This is a gig. This music is like literally their roadie set up two mics." And many years later, Loot the Body is going through eBay, and I find reel-to-reel tape that's being auctioned, and I buy it, and we remaster it and release it. Like that's the vibe that I want, you know? And so it's all the songs, and of course I'm going to be making videos for the songs.
Yep.
To me, it's like, you know, that as creators, we fall into that pit of having too much lore that nobody cares about, but is really precious to us. I
Right.
find
Does
that
that sound familiar at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
for me, the music is the place where that goes. You know, for
Okay.
me, it's like, okay, nobody's going to want to read this if I write it up, but maybe if I write a little rock and track about it, you know. So, like, I have a song called Orange Moon, which is about sort of the, you know, the lunar eclipse. I've got a song called Keep on the Grass,
Yep.
which maybe I don't have to explain what that's about. And so,
Mowing lawns.
yeah, and a long time ago, I heard a story where John Lennon, you know, they were saying how "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" was really just a thinly veiled reference to
Yeah.
LSD.
Yeah.
But all the other words, there's lots of other words in that song that don't start with LSD. Well, I wrote a song called "Lovely Summer Day," where every word is LSD, LSD,
LSD.
LSD. So, so I had a lot of fun with it, you know, going back and forth with that. And I have to give a shout out to Reverend Dak because
Yeah.
this adventure had been living in my hard drive and my mind for a long time until a friend of mine had, this is going back a little, a friend of mine had passed away, and I was feeling really, you know, as one does, feeling really sad. And just around that time, Goodman Games had their reunion up in Northern California where they showed a screening of Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I was telling my wife, "Oh, that sounds so cool. They opened it up to anybody. I could just go if I wanted." She said, "Go, go, go, go." So I went, you know, and I hooked, and Reverend Dak and I hung out up there, and we carpooled on the way back down. And I thought, okay, I've got this guy here in my car. Let me tell
Yeah.
you about this idea I have. And he was so encouraging. He was so encouraging to me that I would not have done this if he hadn't said, "Do it. Are you kidding me? It sounds great. Go for it." You know, and he said, "I'll edit it for you." I thought, really? Because really, the stats and to, you know, in my mind, I think these are just crumpled up pieces of paper that I'm scribbling on, you know, but to know that somebody who actually has worked on a lot of legit adventures that I respect would sort of help me out to, you know, clean it up, press the suit, you know, get it
Yeah.
out the door looking presentable. So that really was very, very helpful. And he ran
The
it for me too. He play tested it for me here at Strategicon as well. So it's been super helpful.
I think the word vibes and stuff is really overused right now, but whatever. Not in a bad way, but Dak really emanates some sort of vibe. I can't explain it, but there is something without. I'm not speaking in hyperbole, but there's something magic that comes out of him that is inspiring. not only through Crawl, which I think still is the pinnacle of gaming zines, but just being in his presence, he just emanates something very cool that is inspiring. So,
Yeah.
Levi, you sound like you have an awesome project, and I love that when you do stuff, you just it consumes you in a positive way. That there's other extensions. It's not just an adventure; it's a musical project. It's a self-exploration thing. I think we have I think we can go to the tape. You want to go?
Oh yeah. So
if you wouldn't mind, ladies and gentlemen, the premiere of the Loot the Body trailer. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Dayberry, a typical American town, home to hard-working, God-fearing, law-abiding folks. At least that's how it used to be, before they arrived. Bikers, dope peddlers, loose women, and psychedelic rockers. All members of a depraved hippie cult that call themselves the Kindred. Led by a charismatic charlatan, the mysterious Jackie Starr. Now Dayberry's teenagers are rebelling against their parents, leaving home and joining the Kindred's immoral commune on the outskirts of town. The local authorities refuse to help. But a traveling preacher named Reverend Thaddeus warns that time is of the essence. Tonight's lunar eclipse is an ill omen. It's time for action. It's up to the decent people of Dayberry to infiltrate the commune. Do their mortal souls stand a chance in the Kindred's depraved labyrinth of sex, violence, and weed smoke? Will the children be saved? Or will Jackie Starr get the last laugh? Against the cult of the hippie commune. A zero-level funnel for Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Now that was an action-packed punch in the patchouli satchel. That is so well done, Levi. You nailed it. Folks, while that was playing, we were talking about that very specific filter, that grain of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and many of the 60s and early 70s exploitation films. And as Neon Lord was saying, you just can't do that. You just, it's just such a special thing. It's lost to time. You can try to do it in some effects programs. But the cool thing about that is, like a lot of stuff that I'm into is like, they didn't do that stuff intentionally, but it becomes its own thing. Just that filter, that graininess alone, Levi, as you said, becomes a character itself.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a little bit of a difference because Hollywood did their own spin on it. I would say like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is a beautiful looking movie, and the colors and everything. I think it's even like in CinemaScope, or I forget what the aspect ratio it is, but there's a lot of, it's a beautiful looking movie. But then you have the drive-in stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Where there is a genuine fear, and in all of these, there's a genuine fear of hippies and this culture, and people are making lots of money on it. So one of my favorite places to go is archive.org.
Yes.
Because a lot of the videos that I put together, I just go in there and I'm like, okay, what public domain videos exist? What instructional films? What documentaries? What home movies? What is there that I can start sort of cobbling together? So I pull a lot of stuff from that. But the look is definitely, sometimes I think it's the equipment in the hands of people who don't know what the heck they're doing. So it's like, maybe they got good film stock, but they don't know how to light it. Or maybe it's been too many generations in the editing room, or whatever it might be, but it adds a lot to it.
Well, I mean, it just comes down to Plan 9 from Outer Space, right? Like, it's like well received and like everyone loves it now, but obviously it was very not well received back when it first came out.
Right. The hippie, I Drink Your Blood. Is that the one where they put this stuff in the pies?
Yeah, I think it's LSD.
No. They put something that makes everybody rabid.
Oh,
they
yeah,
poison
yeah, that's right.
they
Yeah,
poison the bad guys with these pies.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Spoiler alert. No, I
yeah.
know everybody's gonna run and watch I Drink Your Blood right now, but yeah. No,
Yep,
that's
you're
great
right.
stuff,
Yeah, that's the
Levi.
poison pie.
So check that out. What's this? When does it? What's the span? What's the time span for this in terms of funding?
I'm going live on Monday, next Monday, and it's 30 days, and it's my very first, I've done Skate Wizards, but Mike and I, my partner, we just sort of made it and sold it through our store, and then
Yeah,
we sell that through DCC. This is like, I actually did what you did, which is I did, and I thought I had it, but I don't have, but I printed a version of it just to see. I finished it, I just printed one, and when I held it, I thought other people might want this, you know,
sure.
and I don't want to have a bunch of stock and have a store and have a bunch of things. So I thought, okay, Kickstarter is a good way to have a
Yeah,
limited amount of time where this is the time you guys want. I've got some Barrier Peak songbook CDs that I've got some cassettes from old things that I'm putting up. I'm just gonna do this push as sort of some reward. So if you want it, this is the time. So it's gonna be 30 days. I'm gonna, I'm, I've had some really good advice around pirate ship and other fulfillment ways. So I'm gonna do it international shipping because I do have people in other countries who like my stuff. I'm just gonna go for it.
yeah.
Everything's done. All the work is done. The songs are written, recorded, mixed, mastered. The InDesign file is on my desktop. I just need to know how many copies do people want, and so hopefully it won't. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it because it's my first Kickstarter, and there's so much. You tell me to write a song about, LSD or whatever. I'm good. You tell
Yeah,
me
right.
to, have a project plan where I've got to do that. I get a little nervous. It's a little bit outside my scope, but
So I want you to
it's going
come
to
back
happen.
when this is wrapped up. I've been thinking about this too. I would love for you to come back. Brian, you'd be great with this, and James and Lou, but to talk about that process, because
Hmm.
we're always shooting around. The Goodman Games Summit was awesome, and I learned a lot from that. But it'd be cool to talk about some recent ways, like, Kickstarter versus backer kit,
Yeah.
or either one's going to do fine, but like the other end of things, like sourcing packaging, not from
Yeah,
Uline,
exactly.
sourcing stuff that, what is the importance of stretch goals,
Yeah.
that kind of research stuff, and kind of have a little workshop on that. So
Well,
let's get back together.
there's also this idea of like, if you were to really pay yourself for what you're doing, like if you were to hire somebody, Brian, I know you know this, if you were to hire somebody to do everything you're doing, Brian, you'd be out of business. A friend of
Yeah,
mine said,
exactly.
the best way you can make a small fortune in game design is by starting with a large fortune, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it really is really about what you're talking about, Joey, the enjoyment, the love, the creativity, making something in the world, and having enough in the kitty to do the next thing, hopefully.
Right, that's exactly it. I'm just
I always
always,
think we're passing around the
yeah,
same $6,000.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really just all of us, just like you hold them for a while, then you pass them back to me, and we're getting stuff done.
Every Kickstarter, like after I finish, I take my family out to a meal. I buy a piece of original art, usually from the project, and then the rest of it, if there's anything left over, goes into the next, shipment to mix them
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
So
exactly.
awesome. Well, hey, stick around for a minute. This show goes too fast. I need like a 6-hour block. But
So why don't you do
let's,
the 90-minute show?
well, because then it will be 3 hours. So listen, and you guys can jump in because you're going to know some of these titles. All right. So for those of you that are just joining us, I know people are just coming in, finishing up work and all that. Scott Cthulhu is a perpetual member of the Joey Royale Pizza Party family. Scott passed away a couple months ago, and he is dearly missed. And his sister Carrie, who I love dearly as well, said, Joey and Brian, I want you to do something with my brother's stuff. Scott was a collector.
Mhm.
Scott was that doesn't catch you. I mean, floor to ceiling.
He was one of us.
He was one of us.
Like, I mean,
Like every
everything.
version, everything that came out, it was incredible. We had an SUV, and we barely barely could fit. My leg's still asleep from that car ride.
We were definitely one splat book away from like
yeah. So that
not
being
making it.
said, we have Scott's archive, his master collection, and I'm going to be sending out tomorrow in the DCC Rocks community on Facebook. I'm going to be sending out a Google sheet that I ask if you are interested to sign up ahead of time, so we know what we're doing, and you know, when you bid, it'll stick. I'm also working on a document. Thank you for those that helped me with some pre-existing documents. I'm working on kind of a spreadsheet that will have everything up for auction ahead of time with starting bids. I'm starting low because I want to have fun with this and use it for a couple of shows. So that's that. So keep an eye out, and I would really appreciate it if you could share information when I post this stuff tomorrow. Once again, this is going to the Indianapolis Animal Care charity. Help a lot of puppies and kitties and stuff like that. So let's jump right in. Let's take a look. I have 3 giant totes of stuff, so I only pulled out a couple of big things tonight to show my friends. So I got a couple of different hardcovers. Okay. This is somebody's going to know this faster than me, but this is
I think it's 3rd printing.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. This is either 3rd or 5th. No, this is the 8th printing.
Oh my God, they did them all the way that far?
Yeah, and then I got, this is the fancy slipcover one.
Ooh.
This is, oh geez, 4th printing. 4th printing, gold foil sides with the nibs. What do you call those, Bri? What do you call those things?
Sure,
Yeah.
nib sounds good.
Two ribbons. This is high quality, beautiful. I mean, and these are all in library like these are like
mint.
They've just
Gem
came out of a
mints, yeah.
shipping box and put on a shelf.
Some of the stuff was still in a shipping box.
Yeah, and in plastic. Oh, I love this one. I love this one.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Isn't that gorgeous? This is not one that you see often.
Nope.
This is for all you, and like I
says
said,
them on the back, Joey, too.
Fifth printing. Yeah. So we got those. We have some other cool stuff here. Of course, our very special edition MCC with the thick, look at that. Come on.
Flip cover.
That's
Flip
so
case.
cool.
Yeah,
that hardcover case.
Can't beat that.
Speaking of DAC, got the whole run of Crawl.
Oh.
I don't think these have ever been taken out of their plastic.
Probably not. Is the sticker still in there?
You got to check. I'm not sure. This is the 12 pack. So that's the full run there. What else do I got? Oh yeah, this is the San Julian Mutant Crawl Classics one. Gorgeous.
Yeah, that cover is just reminds me of the action figure you were sharing a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is just like, this is why I love this stuff too.
It's like Robot Monster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Everybody's always looking for this. Yep. This is the Chain Coffin box set with, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. There you go. This has never been removed from the plastic. This is still sealed with all the modules in it still. So that's a beautiful thing. Oh, geez. Yeah, well, I can't go any further without this. This is what everybody's going to be here for. Okay.
Ooh.
We got a belt buckle, a beautiful one. This is a classic Doug piece right there. And then, of course, Scott had another one because you can't just have one of something. I should have forgot this one at the bottom of the box. This is one I had not seen before. Look how gorgeous that is. 2020 Road Crew belt buckle. You had to run, I don't know, probably 13 games to get that. So that's a very rare piece right there. These are all going to be able to be picked up by you. Let me see what else I got in here. So basically, it's every module, I can honestly say. All your regular run of your modules. You have all the horror modules. You have, I think I have 2 boxes of Tales from the Smoking Worm.
Purple Planet original box.
Purple Planet original box, Purple Planet Kickstarter add-ons box, Tournament of Pig, the board game. I got tons. He's got tons of Gone Farmer's Almanac. I got a couple sets of that. What else? I got Crypt of the Devil Lich. I got everything. I got 5e stuff in here. Scott was a librarian of sorts, a collector. I won't say hoarder because everything was on a shelf. So if it's on a shelf, you're good. No, that's how I look at it.
Okay, so I'm a hoarder then. Thanks.
Yeah, that's how I make it okay in my mind. But yeah, I mean, I can go. I'll pull out a couple of more things just for fun. Oh, look at this! I didn't even know this was in here. For our other friend Levi, Jungle Tomb of the Mummy Bride with Jeff as well. Okay. Let's see. Click the Devil Lich. Excuse my head bouncing up and down for a second. What do I do? Tournament of Pigs. Randall Red. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Then we just go through all the holiday modules. You know, we got, and a lot of these are early printings of the modules. We got Sailors. We got the hardcover Sailors. Basically everything. I got Lankmar in here. I got Dying Earth. Everything you could ever want from DCC. I got to do a check, but I got a bag of dice tubes in there. Remember that, Fry?
Yep, all the dice.
I want to go up. I saw somebody post a really cool poster of all the different dice, but I would be surprised if we don't have almost probably 90% of every dice tube released.
Yeah, there's a couple that weren't on there, but
yeah,
for the most part, there was a ton. I mean, it was probably 25 easily sets, if not more.
Yeah, we got all sorts of glow, you know, with the spells inside. So we got some beautiful stuff that I want to go to the community. You know, I'm not going to put this on an RPG auction site. This goes to the family. You know, this is Scott would have wanted everybody to go out to everybody, and it's going to a good cause. You know, Dave Beatty, you're a big inspiration to get stuff like this together, and all the folks that put together Aaron's charity. I mean, this is what the community does. So thank you, Scott. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everybody who's part of this family. We're going to have a good time with this. We mourn his loss, but we're also going to celebrate how awesome, how weird, and how cool he was at the same time, and do some good for the world out there, all right? And maybe you can get some new cool stuff on your shelf. Like I said, I'm going to be, so this was probably going to be, let's see, we got September now, October. We're probably looking at a November date to get through some of it. By that time, you guys will have plenty of time to look through a spreadsheet of what's going to be available, the lots that are going to be available, and the starting bids. Like I said, I'm not making any money off this. The only money that is going to be provided from this for me is the shipping stuff, just for shipping it, the boxes probably. But we'll do medium mail for everybody in the US to keep this cheap. And then I will try to work out a way for our Canadian and European friends that won't break the bank completely. So that's what I need your help out there in Spaghetti Land. If somebody could give me some help about getting non-US family members in on this, so shipping can be manageable, so you don't have to sell your house. Go ahead.
I just got my import-export license to Canada today, so I can literally drive across the border and go to a Canadian post and start mailing stuff.
Well, okay.
Nice.
Well,
so I can.
I'll probably
we'll
take
do
you
that.
up on that. You come down for pizza. We'll go to the Citadel and the Book Barn. All right. We load up the car. You go make the run for the border. Be like Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah. So it's brand new. I literally just got the Canadian portal today. And I'll tell you what, the Canadian government emails are wild. They're like the nicest. I did something wrong. They're like, hey, sorry, but you forgot this on here. Please resubmit. Thank you. And I was like, whoa.
Watch out. Marcio's right behind you.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Right behind you.
He's not Canadian. He's more American than we are.
Here we go. Oh, man.
Hey, I said it.
We involved in this conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably stewing somewhere. He's stirring up his maple syrup.
Based on what you said, Joey, do we need shelf space to bid? if
You
this is
do
going to
not.
push us
No, no,
into
no, no, no,
horror.
no.
No. Okay.
No, you get that. You go to IKEA afterwards.
Okay.
All right, you go to IKEA afterwards.
All right.
Levi, what got you into DCC? What lit the wick for you? What was your first exposure?
Walking through my gaming store and seeing the Hue cut out with
Yeah.
those bell bottoms.
Yeah, for me it was the cover. That's all I was doing. I
Yeah.
was walking through. I'm like, oh, I want to do role playing games. Boom, Hugh sold
Yeah.
it to me with those pants.
Game Empire here in Pasadena had the whole stand-up thing, and that was like, whoa. And I'd gotten into Mouse Guard because I liked the comic books, and my kids
Yeah.
were little, and so we were playing that, and it was cool. But when I saw DCC, it was like, oh, okay, this is like that kid who sat next to me in junior high, who could really draw those heavy metal album covers, you know,
Yeah,
or who
Steph.
could do all the
His name
logos,
was
or
Steph.
he knew how to draw a BC Rich Warlock, you know, he knew just how
Yeah,
to do. Yeah, so
one of
that
the coolest guitars ever.
it was like that little, yeah, Proustian moment. It just took me back, you know. But wait, I wanted to show you something because you shared
Yeah.
a toy. So I was lucky enough I went to Japan this summer,
Oh,
and they have a store called Book Off, which is a used bookstore, but it isn't just used books. They have used toys. And I went in, and I wish the other Levi was still on here because I know he's an Ultraman freak like I am.
Yeah.
I went through, and everywhere I went, here's the Trader Joe's bag, I would see their bargain bin and buy every Ultraman
Oh my
that I could find. Every Kamen Rider and Ultraman, I limited myself to that. And I'm going to make a little display here. But I must have about 50 of them. Each one cost me like 40 cents.
Wow, are
Oh,
you
man.
serious?
Each one, because they've all been played with. You know, they've all been played with. They're all
Yeah, but that's
used,
the
and they've all-
best.
Exactly.
Exactly, Brian. Absolutely.
Look at this guy.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was, you know, like my wife was buying.
Is that Inframan?
I don't know what it is, but there's some.
I know the
Really,
first one or the last one was like I think in
check
States
this
is
one out.
Masked Rider. That one's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah. So it was awesome. I got some really good finds. And it helped me limit myself, you know, because in Japan you could see because I would go into music stores, and another thing I love is I love 1960s Japanese guitars. You know,
Yes,
Japan,
absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Me too, man.
So that was my worry, is like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend a bunch of money on old Japanese guitars, and I found that they don't really value them as much as we might, because they want the American guitars, you know? And so
They want this. They want the Strat. I want the
Yeah.
one with the speaker in the
the
case.
Teisco.
Yeah.
I want the old Teiscos, or
The
exactly.
Teiscos are unbelievable.
Yeah. So instead of buying, I would just go and clean out all the bargain bins of these places. But it was awesome. So I'm gonna make myself a little shelf here, but I don't have the shelf space now, which is why I'm bringing it up, because
You'll find it. You'll find it. And I'll tell you what, I told you this before, but I'll tell you it again. My son wanted me to say hi to you and thank you. So he's got these friends that come over. It's 2 guys and 2 girls. They're all about 14 now, total punks. And Skate Wizards is their go-to. That's all they want to do. And Bri, I told you this too. They mix Neon Lords with Skate Wizards.
Yeah.
So it's a
Beautiful.
wonderful world. They're exploring an abandoned mall, kind of like Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
All sorts of crazy ninjas, cultists, all that. Mass hostage casualties, of course. Like nobody's getting, they don't trust anybody. So thank you for making such a wonderful game, because there's a bunch of teenagers in Connecticut that are going nuts over it.
Well, one of the things I'm sort of testing with this Kickstarter is just me, but I'm trying to convince Michael to go in on, because I'd say Skate Wizards 2, Into the Eye of the Domed City, which is
When's this?
It's done mostly. I need Mike to just wrap up some of the art, but I said, let me kickstart it, because after this Kickstarter, I will know more, and then maybe we can kickstart. Because the thing is, like, as much as I love my writing. I know that Mike's art is awesome. And if we could do things where people could have Mike's art, could do much more so. I want to show him, that, dude, if I did this, people are going to want some Skate Wizards stuff with your art.
What's Mike's last name?
Shung, Hsiung, Michael C. Shung.
So, folks, if you haven't checked out his art, he's got a website too. And Levi, that might be one of my if I do okay on the Kickstarter, I always try to support one artist every time. That might be the one. I've been looking at his stuff for a long time. Speaking about supporting wonderful artists, our friend Bradley K. McDevitt. How you doing, buddy? Check out. I was on his Etsy today on my lunch break, checking out some of his stuff. Amazing, iconic, legend in his own time art. Very reasonable to start a Bradley collection. So go to his Etsy shop and check it out. Yeah, Mr. Humble. What? Huh? What? Hope you and Jess had a wonderful birthday day. Levi, I can't thank you enough for all the stuff that you put out and just the world of creativity that you spread out there. Folks, if you got an idea in your head, try to get it into every medium as possible. You'll be so surprised with what you can do. It's really fun. And Bri, you're a big inspiration too with your nonstop, you're just nonstop with your games, but I've been there in person. You got a wonderful family and you're a great dad and a great husband and a great friend. So you can do it, folks. You can balance. We got to have day jobs. What else are we going to do? All right. We don't have the limo with the hot tub. I never will. And I'm okay with that. I got friends. I get to put out a book every now and again, and I get to share all this wonderful stuff with you guys. That's all I want. I'm a happy guy. I hope you all find happiness along the way until we meet again on the next Joey Royale Pizza Party. October, that's going to be candy.
Oh, man.
The man, yeah.
And costumes.
We're going to go big time. So it's going to be great. If you're working on something, shoot me an email over on the Facebook or the Instagram, and I'll get you on the show. The more the merrier, all right? Listen, like I said before, take care of yourself. Don't settle. Pat yourself on the back. Get some rest. Drink some water. And be your own idol, okay? And help people. Great. All right. Ciao, paisans. Elena, thank you very much. You're the best sidekick I've ever had. Love you all. Salud.